Okay, this is lesson 74, units of length. So, I can measure something in a couple of different ways. I can use inches, feet, yards, miles, centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, meters. So those are all ways I can measure something. Sometimes you can measure the same length and call it two different names. So from this 0 point to this point here at the end of my ruler is 12 inches. It's also 1 foot. It's also a little bit more than 30 centimeters. So sometimes you can call it different names. A meter is about 39 inches. We talked about that earlier. So a yardstick is a little bit shorter than a meter stick. A kilometer is about 3/5 of a mile, so more than half a mile, less than a whole mile. So now we're going to start changing some units into other equivalent measurements with different names. So if I have 197 centimeters, how many meters do I have? Well, let's look up at my chart here, and I find that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So I have 1 meter for sure because I have 100. Do I have 2 meters? No, because I don't have 200 centimeters. So if I look at that, can I say, oh, it's almost 2 meters? When they told me to estimate, I can round that to 200. And then I can say 197 centimeters is almost 2 meters. Okay. Example 2 says 2 yards is the same length as how many inches? So let's look at my 1 yard first. So here's a yard, here's 3 feet, and here's 12 inches in that 1 yard. So I know that if 1 yard is 36 inches, so 12 plus 12 plus 12, then 2 yards is that 36 times 2, right? So 2 yards is 72 inches. Okay. Example 3, a marathon is 26 miles and 385 yards. So Leon's goal is to finish under 3 hours. To do so, Leon needs to run about how many miles each hour? So what am I going to do there? I have a distance, and I want to know how long it takes him to run, or how far he can run in one of those hours. So I'm going to take that distance and divide it by 3 hours to find the time for 1 hour. Okay, so, sorry, that should be distance for 1 hour. I'm going to take this, but it says about how many miles, so I'm going to estimate. In this case, I'm probably going to use compatible numbers rather than just rounding this. That would round to 26 miles, because 26 doesn't divide by 3 evenly, does it? So could I round it to 27 miles instead? Sure. So if I say 27 miles divided by 3 hours, I'm going to get 9 miles per 1 hour. So he needs to run 9 miles every hour in order to make it less than 3 hours. Okay, example 4. This one's a little bit different. You got to read a chart that we may or may not have done before. So it says, during physical education, students performed a jump and reach activity to measure their vertical leaping ability. So they're jumping up high to see how high they can jump. Class results are indicated on the line plot below. So this kind of graph is called a line plot. Each X indicates the vertical leap in inches of one student. So this would be me. This student jumped 10 inches. Okay, nobody jumped 11. Another student jumped 12 inches. 2 students jumped 13. 2 jumped 14. Look at that, 4 students jumped 15 inches. So do you get the idea of how to read this? Okay, did anybody jump 22 inches? Nope. Look at this guy, or maybe it's a girl, 23 inches. So that's maybe a basketball player. I bet the coach is looking at that kid and saying, hey, sign that kid up. All right, so they want you to find the mode, the median, and the range. So mode is the one that occurs the most often. Mode, most, that's how I remember that. So which number of inches occurred the most often? If I look at my chart, I see 15, right? Because 4 kids jumped 15 inches. So the most often, the mode, is 15 inches. The median is the number in the middle, like the median of a highway is in the middle of I-95 or I-4. There's a big median there. Well, the median is the number in the middle. We count inward. So with this plot, I'm going to do it a different way. 10, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 15, 15. I should put commas in there, huh? 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. Okay, so I've written down all the kids. So I have 21 kids, right? All right, so normally you have all your numbers and you're going to go inwards, find the one in the middle. So come in, 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 and that's the one in the middle, right? I can do that with my chart. So I'm going to count, and really, I know 21, so I'm going to find 10, and then it's the next one, right? So it's the one in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it would be that one right there. Come in, 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 and there it is, okay? So that's a little confusing to see it that way. Count up how many X's you have, divide by 2, and the one right after the half is the one you're looking at. So that would be, oops, 16 inches. The range is the highest minus the lowest. So the highest is 23, the lowest is 10. So 23 inches minus 10 inches equals 13 inches. So what does that tell us? That tells us that this kid can jump 13 inches higher than this kid. And then there's a bunch of kids in the middle, right? I think median's the only tricky one. And they've given us a lot. Hopefully you'll figure that one out. The rest of them are pretty easy. I think that's a hard way to find the median. I think this is easier, but there's so many numbers there, who knows? Anyway, do your best on this. Good luck.